Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, comment, like, turn on your little bell notification thing so you know when these new videos are coming out. We got a lot of good stuff coming on. If you don't know what this is, all right, welcome back. If you can tell, I'm a little bit excited, a little bit, you know. Anyways, so if you can tell what we're going to be doing today. Oh man, look what we got. All right, so we have got everything hung, primed. Well, not primed, but wax and grease removed. We got everything pretty much ready to go for to go ahead and get this thing started to get painting. So what we're going to be doing is obviously it looks like something out of Hellraiser in here. Got some of the window moldings hanging up right here. We got the doors ready to go. We got a bunch of these things. This guy here is the, I guess, the dog shroud. I don't really know what you'd call that. It goes basically above the radiator support, which is this guy right here that's hanging as well. So this one kind of goes in the front part, then that goes over the top to kind of cover everything up. That one obviously has been modified. The guy that owned it before me decided to cut those out for whatever reason. I don't know why he did half the stuff he did, but we're working with what we got. So we got some of the interior goodies. We got, that would be the glove box cover. This is kind of the center grill cover thing. You guys will see that kind of when that starts going together. Some other bits and pieces of some stuff that's going to be inside. We got the inner fenders laid out. And then we also have, if I'm getting hooked on everything, got the interior all cleaned up, ready to go. We are going to be spraying everything with the primer right now. But as far as the actual blue color, it's going to be this part back here that you can see. So everything around there, it'll end right at the, oh, which way does my arm go? This way, whatever, this thing right here. There we go. That will be where the blue actually stops. So this whole thing back here will be blue. This is just going to get primed. I don't think I'm doing anything with the floor. Door seals will all be done all the way around. And then the dash is just going to get primed as well because that's getting wrapped in suede. Headliner will be suede. Floor is going to be carpet as well as all the way back up underneath basically the firewall and back here where these guys are. I did make a couple of holes for my little sound system. I don't believe I've even showed you guys that yet, but we will kind of take a look real quick. So what I ended up going with here is just a couple of, they're basically ATV, UTV side-by-side speakers. There's two 4.5 or 5.5 something speakers and one 6.5-inch subwoofer. The reason I did that is I really just didn't want to start cutting a bunch of holes. I didn't really want to try and figure out a way to put a new age singled in or a doubled in there. I didn't want to cut apart the dash. There just was a lot of things with it. So with this system, with the UTVs, you actually got just like a little amplifier that it comes with. All the speakers hook into that. It's Bluetooth, so I can go ahead and hook my phone up and listen to Sirius XM or whatever it is I listen to. And then it's got like a little remote that I'm planning on actually putting in the center console in the bench seat, so I can open it up and there'll be the little remote right there. So I think it'll turn out kind of trick. We'll kind of see how it works out. If it sucks, it wasn't really expensive. It was like $150 on eBay, whatever. So hey, eBay special, right? But I'm going to go ahead and get all suited up. I got my suit over here. I got my mask. Last thing I have to do before I can start painting is tack cloth. I got a couple tack cloths over there. As much as I would love to shoot some picture of me spraying this thing, the last thing I want to do is try and clean a bunch of paint off of my phone here. So I'll kind of do an update as I'm going along. If I figure out a way to kind of cover this thing up so I'm not getting paint all over it, I'll try and shoot some photo. Maybe I can try and set it up here. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be safe and out of the way, but I'll spray the first couple of coats. If I'm not seeing a lot of overspray sitting up there, I'll try and set it up while we're doing the blue because I think that's going to turn out really cool. So we'll check back when I'm done. Hopefully tonight. It is a little late now, so still a little bit of light out, but it's also cold. I haven't shot for a couple of days because it's been shot meeting the paint. It's been pretty cold outside. It's only been like 50 degrees and paint doesn't like to dry at that point. It's only 62 right now, but I'm kind of hoping there's enough heat that it'll dry tonight that I can put the second coat of primer on. So we'll kind of see how it goes, but I'll check back with you guys when we're all done. All right, guys, welcome back. So here we are in the garage. We got everything completely primed. Got our little window trim primed up. We got our doors primed up. We got the, where's it at? Right there. So that would be for basically the front, in front of the radiator. That's the radiator surround. Got our two fenders all primed up. We got a bunch of our little interior bits and pieces. Kind of hard to see with that sun right there. Let's see if we can get a little bit better angle. So kind of even hard to see those right now, but there's two of the little door panels. There you go. You kind of see one of them right there. Those go right there to cover up those guys. So I got our two fenders all primed up. They're looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and do some wet sanding right now. Got the interior pretty much primed up. I didn't do as much as I wanted to because specifically I didn't realize how quick I was going to go through the primer. I had 2 quarts and I'm not painting the whole vehicle. I mean, I guess I am painting quite a bit, but actually ran out of primer. Thankfully, that primer was local here, so I was able to go pick up 1 more quart and get some. But so I didn't do anything with the floor. Floor's going to get the sound deadening and then carpet anyways. I didn't do the ceiling, but the ceiling's going to get sound deadening, and then I'm going to build a custom headliner for that one. We did get this whole back panel all primed because that one is getting painted blue, and the dash I got primed up just specifically because I wanted a nice surface to go ahead and do the suede. I did get some foam too, so it'll kind of be kind of fun. It'll be like a soft touch, kind of like some of the newer vehicles. So that should be really nice. The back firewall, I guess the inner firewall here, I started to spray a little bit, but one thing I did run into is I've been using this paint gun right here, and I literally picked this thing up at Harbor Freight, I bet close to 20 years ago. So was using that guy. It's only got the 2 nozzles for the atomization. It doesn't have any in the front, and it was just throwing down. It almost seemed like a texture. It was really just kind of blah, 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 blah. So long story short, I ran to Menards. I got a Menards gift card for my birthday, so I ran to Menards, and I picked up this little dude here. Again, not probably the best paint guns in the world, but it was doing pretty good. That one little gun I had was a detail gun. I did end up finding that I had another gun under there that basically matched this one here. It just was the bigger version of this. But, yeah, you know, they've been, I literally bought those 15 or 20 years ago. So this is the new gun here. It's just stainless steel, Menards brand. Menards, if you guys don't know, Menards is like a Home Depot, Lowe's. It's just kind of, I don't know if it's nationwide or not. I know it's up here in the north, but anyway, so this guy's been working out pretty good. But the one problem I did have with the inner firewall is as I was spraying, as you can see, the cup for it is giant. That actually holds an entire quart. It holds an entire one of these little dudes that I'm painting with. So with that, having that big old tank on the top, I wasn't quite able to get all the way up underneath. Like here, the tank kept hitting the top of this guy, and I was smacking into stuff, and I didn't want to like get any like super nasty runs and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is probably just pick up a can of Rattle just to get everything primed. Again, that's all getting covered in carpet, so it's not a big deal, but just to eliminate any rust or anything else that might come up in the future, I'm gonna go ahead and get that all primed up at least just to cover that up. So what I'm gonna start doing now is I got some wet sandpaper here, and we're gonna give it a quick sand. I'm not gonna go crazy with this. I have put a lot of time and effort into this, and I don't want to start skimping out now, but like I've said a million times, not a show vehicle, not a concourse. It's gonna get used, it's gonna get muddy, it's gonna get cow shit and whatever else crap, excuse me, cow poop. When I'm taking that, I plan on taking this thing hunting. In fact, hunting season started 10 days ago. Hi, Mike. Sorry, I was going to go put up my deer stand this week, and guess what? I haven't been able to do because of this thing. So planning on it next week. So it's going to get dirty. It's going to get well used. So really no reason to go crazy with it. Make it look nice, but you know, not a Ken Diggett design vehicle by any stretch of the imagination, but it should look really nice. So we're going to go ahead and wet sand that thing. We're going to wet sand the doors and then the inner fenders. and that might be all. And the reason is I have 2 quarts of paint. With the amount of primer I went through, I don't know. I think I'm gonna run out. So I think I'm gonna hold off on painting like some of these dudes down here, and then as soon as I get done with that, I'll kind of see where I'm at with paint. If I've got enough to do everything, awesome. If I don't, I'll order another quart. At least at that point, everything will be primed up to the point, or painted anyways, that I can start actually assembling the truck. I can start getting the motor. It's underneath the tarp. I've got, hopefully, everything that I care about tarped up. This HVLP guns are kind of cool. They don't have a lot of overspray. That little detail gun I was using does. It did have absolutely no overspray, 0. But the new gun that I got, it does have a little bit, not much. You know, I'm looking at kind of everything hanging on the walls and stuff in here, and I don't really have a whole lot of overspray. So I may actually take some video of me spraying the blue and the clear, because they're both going to go on today. This being some of my first, like I'll say paint jobs. Like, I've done some painting in the past, but nothing to really like this extent. It was mostly like auto shop and a couple of things like that. Did a little research. They said wait 24 hours for your primer, wet sand it, and then go ahead and go. But with paint, base coat to clear coat, you can't wait more than 24 hours. If you do, you actually have to wet sand, and then you got to, I keep looking over here. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen. I got to look at my camera. You'll have to wet sand and then put another base coat down, and then you clear. So I'm going to try and get everything done today that I have enough material for. I was able to go and head and get another, that's another base coat. Oh, it's down here, I think. Another jug of this clear that I've got. So I've got 3 of these. I was able to pick that up, but this midnight blue color that I got, I think I've showed you guys a couple of times. That one is not stocked locally anywhere that I can find. So I can find some of the other colors. I don't want to have too many crazy colors in here. I thought about throwing in some silver and doing some of the interior bits, or I could probably pretty much do it all of the interior bits in the silver color, but this is going to be it's going to be too sporadic. So I think the blue, if I run out, I'll just buy another quart. I can set this up again, you know, and then all you got to do is, you know, spray the smaller stuff. If I have enough, I'm going to probably try and get the bigger things sprayed. These guys that are hanging right here, I'll probably try and get those done as well. That way, all I have to do is just set up like a bench or something to get the small stuff done. But go ahead and set you guys up. We'll start wet sanding. And then as soon as I'm ready to spray, we'll go ahead and set this up. I think I'm going to, again, like I said, I'm going to try and set this up to record while I'm trying to spray some base coat down. So without further ado, let's get to work. Alright guys, a little hard to see me back here, but as you can see, I'm all suited up. Got everything all wet sanded. I used a 600 grit. I know you're supposed to use like 1,000 to 1,500, but honestly that's all I had. I could have run to the store and grabbed some 15 or some 2,000 grit, but I didn't do a lot. I just kind of did a quick scuff. Really, I'm not a professional by any means, but the big thing for me with wet sanding is to just kind of get the grits off the surface. You can kind of feel now, if you can feel, which you can't obviously, but everything's pretty nice and smooth now, and I just touched that, so I'm going to probably have to wipe it again real quick, but yeah, where was I? Yeah, so just, shit. So I got everything wet sanded, and then I went ahead and I tack clothed everything, and I'm going to go ahead and fill the gun now, and we'll go ahead and start shooting some paint. Alright guys, well I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end the video. Just kidding. Alright, so as you guys could see in the video, what happened is I got done actually spraying that midnight blue from the duplicolor, and it was not midnight blue. Honestly, the picture, the color that you can see in the photos, that was what it was. It was, my wife said teal, I was saying aqua, green. I guess women see 100 different shades of colors than men do or something. Either way, that was not midnight blue. I was beside myself. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I just spent all this time and money and everything else to get this thing the way I want it. Now it's going to look like crap. So my father-in-law was like, hey, can you just go buy a different color and just use that as a base coat? And I started thinking, I was like, gosh, you know, that's actually not a bad idea. So ran to the PPG store. Got some, gosh, what's this stuff called? I don't want to show you guys yet, but, Omni, I think it is. I know, go to PPG store and you don't buy PPG. The can of PPG was $414, and I wasn't going to spend $414 on a can of paint. So this stuff was about, oh, I don't remember, a chunk of change. More than I wanted to spend for sure, but should have gone that route in the first place. It turned out a lot better. The clear coat was okay. The primer was a little, it was clumpy. I don't know. I don't know if all, anyways, long story short. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Well, you guys, so this is finally it. I just decided to go ahead and go with black. Psych. Not black. Are you ready for it? Shabam. Look at all the flake. What in the hell is that? Oh. I don't know what that even is. Something bleeding through, maybe? Well, either way, there is a lot of dust in the air right now, so I might be able to just either buff that out or it might just wipe right off. I just don't really want to touch a whole lot of this stuff. But you guys can see the color. You can see all the flake that's in there. A couple of good spots that you can really see the color. There you go. So you can see the blue, see all the flake, and then at night or whenever, it's just going to look black. Bam, color. So it's going to look really good. I didn't go crazy on these guys. Obviously in the engine bay, you don't really see a lot of this stuff anyways. I did get the top part because you will see this when you open the actual engine, but then that guy covers a lot of this guy, so you really won't see. I just didn't see the sense in spending a whole lot of time and energy and money and everything else on this stuff. But I think the fenders turned out absolutely amazing. Again, a lot of dust on them right now, so as soon as I get them all cleaned up, I will show a little bit more. But back here actually does show pretty good actually of how it looks. So again, night, looks black, bam, color, shabammy. Yep, and you can see that was the original color. That was the color that was there before, so it just wasn't right. I couldn't get my gun all the way up in there. The power steering pump sits inside this thing anyway, so you pretty much won't ever see that or this little thing here. You'll just kind of see the edges of them. So again, you know, I could have gone a little bit more crazy. It's getting a little reflection right now, so definitely not the best work in the world, but I'm actually really proud of it. This stuff turned out really cool. A lot of dust sitting on top of it right now, so I am going to have to go over it pretty good. We'll see if, yeah, it's a little gritty right now, so we'll probably take a buffer, buff this stuff out, get it looking really good. I don't want this video. It's probably already a half-an-hour video again. Sorry, guys. I keep putting out half-an-hour videos. I'm trying not to, but turned out super cool. Very, very pleased with the way this stuff turned out. I did peel this back. Oh, here we go. Dropping my phone. I did peel this back because I wanted to actually see how that blue would look up against the yellow. And obviously, you're supposed to peel anything basically touching the tape or the paint, because it'll start to, when you go to take the tape off, it'll start to peel the paint, which you can see right there, it already started to. So I probably should have peeled this right after I was done painting, but I didn't. So now I'm gonna have to just be super careful, and I'll grab my X-Acto if I need to. But again, turned out super cool. Very, very pleased. So now with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and end the video here. Again, sorry if it's half an hour or whatever. There was a lot of footage. There was a lot of stuff going on in here. You know, this was, what, 3 or 4 days in the making. So I really wanted to get this one all out and get it all together. My arm is super tired from holding that gun all day. So very happy. You guys let me know what you think of it, if that color looks cool together. I think it looks pretty good. You know, we'll get this all cleaned up, get it buffed. I think it's going to look really good. Now I'm excited because now we can finally start putting the engine in here, get the transmission mocked up. We can finally start putting interior together. That was everything that I wanted to paint. I do have a little bit of paint left over there. So if I come across something that I need to still paint, I'll have a little bit more. I can always just take my little detail gun and do a little bit of, you know, stuff here and there if I need to. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you guys watching this. Truck's coming along. I'm hoping to have her on the road here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see. It's been one in the making, so we'll kind of see how it goes. But remember, if you guys' hands ain't dirty, I'm not dirty anymore. As soon as I got done, I immediately went and showered. So I was dirty. I didn't bleed at all today. But make sure you guys stay tuned for what's next. We'll see you guys in the next one.